Everyone holds his fortune in his own hands, like a sculptor, the raw material he will fashion into a figure. But it's the same with that type of artistic activity as with all others. We are merely born with the capability to do it. The skill to mold the material into what we want must be learned and attainably cultivated. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. One time, as a part of his studio work, he was asked to paint an angel in a larger biblical scene designed by Verrocchio. He had decided that he would make his portion of the scene come to life in his own way. In the foreground, in front of an angel, he painted a flower bed. But instead of the usual generalized renderings of plants, Leonardo displayed flower specimens that he had studied in such detail as a child. What kind of scientific rigor no one had seen before. For the angel's face, he experimented with his paints and mixed a new blend that gave it a kind of a soft radiance that expressed the angel's sublime mood. To help capture this mood, Leonardo had spent time in the local church, observing those in fervent prayer. The expression of one young man serving as the model for the angel. And finally, he determined that he would be the first artist to create realistic angel wings. For this purpose, he went to the marketplace and purchased several birds. He spent hours stretching their wings, how exactly they merged into their bodies. He wanted to create the sensation that these wings had originally grown from the angel's shoulders and would bring its natural flight. As usual, Leonardo could not stop there. After his work was completed, he became obsessed with birds, and the idea brewed in his mind that perhaps a human could really fly. If Leonardo could figure out the science behind a vain flight. Now, several hours every week, he read and studied everything he could about birds. This is how his mind naturally worked. One idea flowed into another. The most successful path to mastering anything is to practice for the sake of practice itself, not for the results. All significant learning is composed of brief spurts of progress, followed by a long period of work, where it feels as if you are stuck on a plateau. There are no experts, only learners. Definition of mastery: the mysterious process during which what is at first difficult becomes progressively easier and more pleasurable through practice. All significant learning is composed of brief spurts of progress, followed by a long period of work, where it feels as if you're going nowhere. On the path to improvement, the general progression is always the same. To take the master's journey, you have to practice diligently, striving to hone your skills, to attain new levels of competence. But while doing so, you also have to be willing to spend most of your time on a plateau, to keep practicing. Even in hand, you seem to be getting nowhere. In the long run, the war against mastery, the path to patience, dedicated effort without attachment, immediate results, is a war that can't be won. The 5 keys to mastery: instruction, practice, surrender, intentionality, and the edge. On learning, for mastering most skills, there is nothing better than being in the hands of a master teacher. On finding a master teacher, to see the teacher clearly, look at his students. We imagine that creativity and brilliance just appears out of nowhere, the fruit of natural talents, or perhaps of a good mood, or an alignment of the stars. It would be an immense help to clear up the mystery, to name this feeling of power, to examine its roots, to define a kind of intelligence, the leads of it, and to understand how it can be manufactured and maintained. Let us call this sensation mastery, the feeling that we have a greater command of reality, other people, and ourselves. Although it might be something we experience for only a short while, for others, masters of their field, it becomes their way of life, their way of seeing the world, Such masters include Leonardo da Vinci, Napoleon Bonaparte, Charles Darwin, Thomas Edison, and Mara Graham, among many others. And at the root of his power is a simple process that leads to mastery, one that is accessible to all of us. We enter a new field with excitement, but also fear about how much there is to learn ahead of us. The greatest danger here is boredom, impatience, fear, and confusion. Once we stop observing and learning, the process towards mastery comes to a halt. You possess a kind of inner force that seeks to guide you towards your life's task. What you are meant to accomplish in that time that you have to live. In childhood, this force was clear to you. It directed you towards activities and subjects that fit your natural inclinations, that sparked a curiosity that was deep and primal. In the intervening years, the force tends to fade in and out as you listen more to parents and peers, to the daily anxieties that wear away at you. This can be the source of your unhappiness, your lack of connection to who you are and what makes you unique. The first move towards mastery is always inward. Learning who you really are and reconnecting with that innate force. Knowing it with clarity, you will find your way to the proper career path, and everything else will fall into place.